All right, so starting the lap, here we go. All right, first I notice is that we're not fully utilizing the track to the left, as you can see here. Now, on the straight line, normally it's not like a big deal, but you see like we have a pretty big chunk that we could be using more. Like now, I know this doesn't seem like a relevant place to gain lap time, but believe me that everything adds up. And if you can open up the entries, you can definitely scrub more. You can scrub less speed there, and therefore I encourage you to start using a bit more track there. Let's keep going. Now it seems like we've slightly missed the apex here. I can't tell exactly how much of the apex you can run over here, but I would suspect you could be, oh, I mean, for sure, as a bare minimum with the inside line, with the inside tires, you should be here, right? As a bare minimum, so that's quite a big chunk. You can see it's even nice and black over here, means there's more grip over there. But I would say you can run even higher. I can say you can run even higher, like out of the curb. Obviously, you have to try. It depends whether it's not too steep, but I can speculate you can run over that, and you can definitely gain lap time by simply making shorter distance, even if you're flat out. I can see you're flat out by looking at your pedal, but yes, as I said, even if you're flat out, you can still gain time by just making less meters. So I would suggest turning in a bit earlier and using all of the curb, and that's going to give you lap time. Let's keep going. Let's go slightly back. All right, here, I mean, what I've noticed is that, okay, you're not using all of the track also here, but it may not be very needed unless we're trying to prepare maximum for the next corner. Because like, look, if I would be you, I'd be like, okay, is this corner easy? The next corner coming up, that one, this one. Is that corner easy or not? If that is easy, then okay, well, you can take this as you're doing. But if this becomes a bit harder, I would try to stay a little bit more to the right. I would try to be here, all right? So I could open up more. I could be close to the white line, all right? And that's gonna open up the line, and as you know, by opening up the line, you're gonna get faster entry speed. Instead of, if you are placing yourself here rather than placing yourself here, you can probably agree with me, you're going to carry way more speed into the corner, so that's going to give you a lap time. Right. Okay, in this case, it looks quite an easy corner, so we don't need to over-prepare as much as I said, but perhaps you could be a little bit more prepared, as I said, a bit more to the right. This is good. You're all... Okay, so it looks like these curbs can be used. They're not too steep as I thought, so you can be using them, and as you use them here, you can probably use in other places. All right, here we use a decent chunk. I'm not sure whether you could use a bit more, but yes, I mean, if you could, well, at least you should try once. I'm just looking at the line right now. Okay, we didn't use the whole track on the exit. We actually gave up quite a bit of track, but probably that could... Okay, so here's the thing. If you carry a lot more... Let me see, is this flat or not? Let me check. This is flat. Maybe you made a small lift here, it looks like. All right, you know what you could do? You can make it... You could carry more speed, perhaps. Here, instead of braking or lifting, I can't tell exactly, I don't have any pedal sensors. But here you could carry way more speed, still using the curb. And you could wash you out a little bit more in this direction. And that was gonna make you use a little bit more track. Now, I don't know why it's pixelated. That's gonna make you use a little bit more track. I think that could be achieved quite easily. Okay, we're making short distance. Right, this is very important. There's a lot of space here. if you can see from the white line. And I would suspect you should be as a minimum with the right tires over the white line, but I would suspect you can be even a tiny bit over the curb, because the curb looks kind of flat here. You see this part of the curb looks nice and flat, so I would suspect you could be using that. And so what I would do is just open up the corner massively as much as you can, pretty much as much as possible, and try to, because like this, look, now you're facing the line like that, basically, like, I don't know, like just making this kind of apex. But if you are where I'm telling you to be, you'll be able to carry way more. Oops, my drawing not the best. Yeah, you're gonna carry way more. Yeah, the corner is gonna be way wider, and so you will be able to carry way more speed here at the apex, believe me. So there's quite a big difference here. Okay, I mean, you won't be fully here, as I said, maybe a bit less. You should definitely do everything you can to open up the line. That's gonna be very important. All right, let's keep going. You can see, if you have, we're missing a little bit the apex. That could be fixed, by opening up the entry for sure. So as a bare minimum, we have to put the left wheels, so the inside ones, over the white line at the apex. But I would say you could use a little bit more, like you also use a bit of a curb, okay? Because it looked like the curb was not too steep in the other corner, so I would suspect here is usable too. Looks alright. Alright, it must be on a totally different power than you. I wonder whether we got a really bad exit. For sure, we didn't get the best exit of our life because we didn't prepare as much as I said. We could have got on the gas quite a bit earlier here if you open up the corner more. Here the track usage is quite okay. Could be a bit more, as I said. Like, I am a big believer in track usage. So you are right now on the white line, so you're about here with your tire, but I would want you to be at least here, or maybe even a tiny bit of the curve. I think you should give it a try, and all depends. But yes, we still have a little bit of a margin for sure, and that's gonna make this corner easier, because the wider you are, the more speed you're gonna carry at the apex. Okay, the tighter you are, the less speed you're gonna carry at the apex. Now I'm exaggerating, I'm not saying this is the difference, okay? I'm just making a massive exaggeration, all right? So that's very important to remember. If you wanna carry more speed by the apex, you gotta open up maximum the entry. And here we end up missing a little bit the apex. Normally when we miss the apex on the, okay, there's can be many different factors, many different reasons. Perhaps you don't have enough front grip, perhaps we turned in too late, perhaps we didn't open up the corner perfectly, or we carry maybe a bit too much speed. I think now in this case, the reason why we missed the apex, yes, we turned a bit too late, but the problem again is that as I mentioned, we were not fully using the track here. Believe me, if you are staying more to the left here, if you stay a bit more to the left and using a bit of the curb, and you would turn a bit earlier, you would catch perfectly. And you see I had a little bit of a snap oversteer. All right, going into the corner, you had a little bit of a snap oversteer, and that didn't allow you to catch the perfectly line. So also in terms of setup or smoothness, we could have been a little bit more balanced with the steering. And we definitely missed the apex. I mean, looks like the car is a bit understeery. Like, I'm not a big fan of having that much steering angle on the dry conditions. So for sure, here we're lacking, as a bare minimum, 50 centimeters from the white line, but I would suspect we can clip the curb here a little bit. It looks quite flat, and it's kind of black here, you see, so it means people is running over that. So here, I think here we kind of lost a bit of time. Could have been a faster corner if we went over the apex curb. We're not fully using the track on the exit. I'm not sure whether your kart engine allows you to or not, is pushing you out or not, but yes, ideally we'd want to be all over the white line here in an ideal scenario. We want to make short distance there. Again, look, we're not, let me go forward on the corner. Okay, it's easy flat corner. So now this is a pretty fast section, like actually quite fun to watch. As you can see, we're not fully using the track on the right. I would do it because it helps you to scrub less speed by here. And then I don't really understand why we don't use this whole curb. Like, to me, it looks quite flat. And it looks like people is cutting over this. So instead of doing your line, which is like this, like I'm pointing the center of your cart, instead of doing that line, if we did something like coming from here, just like cutting through, we would definitely have less steering angle in this area. In this area, the blue has more steering angle, the purple has less steering angle. So you would definitely help. Look at that. We have this kind of steering angle right now. Like this is, oh, yeah. You see, we're not straight. We're like that. But I'm pretty sure that if you were here, as I said, instead of being like that, your steering angle would be a little bit less. Like would be like that. Okay, it would be more straight. I hope you get my point. And besides that, you will make quite a bit less distance too. So let's keep going. Our curb usage is good here, flat out, I suspect. Well, let me go back. Definitely use more curb here. Absolutely, you have to use, I think you should definitely use all of this. You see they're putting the cones over here because people has been cutting even all the way to there. I think you can cut until here, to the limit where you touch the cone. There's a full car weight. Look at that. Look at the steering angle you have. I'm pretty sure you could have quite a bit less steering angle. You could be like that if you just went straight over this. Okay, like this is not the proper line, but yeah, it would be like that, cutting through like that. You get my point. Let me go slightly back into the video so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. You just here, instead of, see, as we're doing now, we're pointing in this direction. Instead of doing that, if we turn a slightly bit earlier, we would have done flat all over this. And that, believe me, would have cut the distance as well as perhaps finding more grip. But I'm pretty sure you're already flat out, so it's not like you need more grip to make it flat. It's just that you make less distance. Here it's pushing a bit wide, you know. If you did keep it more tight there, you would have been a bit more over the grip level. Losing a bit of, so what I suspect this is sending you down the main straight. Okay, so this corner is actually very important because it's gonna carry down the main straight, right? So you need the exit to be very strong. So you need to get it on full throttle as soon as possible. And I would open up this corner a little bit more. Like I would be, instead of being here, I would be a little bit more to the left. I would be like here, all right? You're like here. I would be a little more, so that you, by the time you get to the apex, you know, yeah, my drawing is not the best. I wish I could do it better, but by the time you get to the apex, you're gonna have better positioning. And you know what I mean? So you're gonna have way better exit, way better. You can get on the gas earlier, and look at that. The reason why we're sliding here because we are too tight in the area on the entry, and like we're asking too much from the tires to both turn and slow down and accelerate, kind of. So it's like, you know, in this area we will need to have a little bit less steering angle, and to do so we need to have a better line on the entry, more open. And you can see the RPMs are dropping like ball. RPMs are dropping and we're not picking up all the speed that we could. Also here, perhaps you can use a little bit more curb, but the important thing is also to let the car be a little bit free on the exit, even though you don't want to make too many meters. Like, I don't think you should be here over the white line. Perhaps you could be a bit more in the middle, you know. It all depends on the speed that you carry. And then the lap is over. But remember to open up the entry maximum. The general thing I saw from this video is that we need to work a lot on opening up the corners, and we could use also a bit more apex curb when we can, But yeah, the main thing is just open up, open up, open up. The more you open up, the faster you will go. You'll see that the minimum speeds will be much higher. The RPMs are gonna stay higher. You can see you can feel, I can hear the you know, the volume from the engine. Let's go like that. It's gonna be way louder, and that's gonna be good news. So I'm pretty sure that by working on all those things, you're gonna pick up some extra speed, especially in the mid exits, and you'll see that's gonna also help you with the sequence of corners. You know, getting the optimum line, the sequence of corners, as we saw in the last sector as well. So open up the corners. Don't be afraid of using the white line, or at least the white line on the entries, as we saw, or even the curbs. Okay, don't be afraid of that. Like that, you see those ones, you should definitely aim for them, as we mentioned, and you'll see that you're gonna pick up way more speed. Like this was the big one for me, this one. Like we had quite a bit of track left to the right hand side that we could have used, and that would have given you quite a bit of extra lap time. So remember, the more you open up the corners, the more speed you can carry, as well as the better exits you can get. So you should do it until you get to the limit. Either you go over the grass and that becomes the limit, or you start to feel like, okay, this is now a bit too much, and you start to slide because maybe there's some dirt over the curb. But you should definitely explore the limits, all right? Push the limits and you'll find them out.